the universe is saying today too that you've been marked with new energy. You're renewing and you're going through a phase of rebirth where 555 portal today is pushing you forward and it's helping you to shake off the pieces of identity that are not aligned with the new version of yourself you're becoming. I want to share with you 5 different things you need to know related to today's energy portal 555, why 555, and how it is supporting you right now, how it is supporting your rebirth and rising from the ashes that, well, represent your past. So yesterday we've been talking about the planet Pluto that went into retrograde in a sign of Aquarius, which is energetically a very transformative 5-month period that helps us to understand even better all the lessons that we've learned in the past and all the breakdowns and breakups that happened. And in today's update, I will be sharing with you how to move on with this powerful energy that comes with the 555. So we're in May 5th, 2025. So when we talk about 55, firstly, it's a doorway of transformation. When we have 2 5s together, it's a doorway to transformation. And because we have Pluto going into retrograde, it's the inner transformation. So it means that what was transforming inside of you, the changes you've been through, the healings you've been through, the new realizations and new awakenings you've been through, now it's time to realize them in your life. So there are certain things you need to pay attention today that are happening in your life right at this moment as you're listening to this message. And I felt inspired to talk about this. So to those of you who will resonate with what we'll be talking today about, pay attention, my friend. The first thing that I felt to talk about is that today will reveal to you what has been buried inside of you. So let's say you've been born pure. Let's firstly break it down what it means. You've been born pure. And when you've been pure, you've been completely aware of why you've been born. You've been aware of your potential. You've been aware of where you are going with this life as soul, where you're going, where you want to evolve. You were aware of what can distract you and how to protect yourself so you will not be distracted by these things. But as you went through life and through aging and through all these processes of influences from your external world, you've started forgetting about the potential and you've started focusing more on what other people are saying to you. So you've started suppressing your own gift and you've started suppressing that diamond of yours that makes you you. And today, you may just wake up and realize, oh, that's what makes me me. That's what makes me so special. Not in a superficial way or not in some superior way, but truly what makes you you. Because number 5 is such a powerful number. It comes after number 4. 4 is a number of stability. When you become stable, then you have time, you have capacity, and you have energy to transform what needs to be transformed. So number 5 is a very powerful number. It's just in the middle between 1 and 10. 10 represents a beginning of a new cycle. So if we have the cycle from 1 to 9, 10 represents the beginning of a new cycle because 1 is the beginning, 0 is the potential, the infinite potential. 5 is just in the middle, which means that you're going through a rebirth right now and you're stepping into a whole new version of yourself, which means new identity, new goals, new vision, new actions. And well, new methods, new plans, new strategies. So whatever was outdated, you need to leave it behind, and you need to embody right now, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, it's time to embody more of this masculine energy right now to strategize the new life. So one thing that comes with this energy right now is that it supports you, but it will not change you by itself. It supports you in a sense that it provides you support, it provides you inspiration, it provides you push forward. But then you are the one that decides to kind of detach the past and fully acknowledge where you're going, to focus onto that, onto these new goals, new dream, new direction, and recognize what you need to learn so you can accomplish that, and what kind of methods you will use, what kind of strategies you will use. You can also update your routines so everything can align with that new path. Take a piece of paper, write down goals related to finances, related to emotions, related to energy, what kind of energy you want to experience, and all of this. Today is a perfect day to begin with that. So that's why I'm giving you this daily support, daily guidance according to the daily energy. So you can have everything in check. You can have the tools, you can have the knowledge, you can have awareness, and you can tap into your heart and ask yourself what is the most needed in your life. This is the first thing. So journal, confess, or communicate what you've been holding back, because I mentioned you will become aware what has been buried inside of you, but because number 5 is also a number of planet Mercury, which is the messenger, it's also about, it gives you the voice to express it. It gives you the voice to express what you've buried. So before I mentioned 555, there's 2025 this year. So you may say, well, there are 2 2s, 0 and 5. And yes, this year, 2025, is a very special year because firstly, we have 2 2s, which means there's 4. And number 4 is about stability, which means this year is all about slow stability, building slow foundation. That's what this year is all about. It has 0 in between, obviously, which means we're building foundation based on a potential we want to accomplish, which means we're building a foundation on something new, not something old. But there's 5 at the end, which means we are transforming everything we knew into something new, and we're building foundation on something new that will stabilize our lives but still allow us to make our lives as incredible as possible. The second thing, break free from old power struggles. This is something that I've already mentioned yesterday, but today particularly, you need to pay close attention where you start controlling your life out of ego and out of fear. Because number 5 is also the energy of freedom. It has the frequency of freedom. So today, particularly, you may feel a need to free yourself, or you will feel inspired by freedom. So let's think about your highest possible version of yourself you could be right now. If you can just think about the highest possible version of yourself you can be right now, how freedom looks like for you. How freedom looks like for you. Maybe freedom financially, freedom in terms of how you live, like maybe not so influenced by old habits, maybe freedom from some toxic relationships, maybe freedom of limiting beliefs, and just seeing yourself completely present with life or aligned with life, or living somewhere where you're charged with good energy, with healthy, vibrant energy. Maybe that is that freedom for you? Like being free like a bird, where you can creatively express yourself and flow through life, not being stagnant, not avoiding things, but flowing like a bird, catching the wind and just going where inspiration pulls you. Is that freedom to you? That's freedom to me. And every single day I have to listen to it. So the frequency of number 5 is also freedom. You need to recognize what ties you, what's been holding you down. And that's what you slowly start replacing for alternatives. So you can also take a great time to reflect. You can go into meditation. That's how I'm doing it. I sit in meditation. I close my eyes and I firstly relax my body. And then I think about what is holding me down at this moment. What is holding me down? Because think about this. If you would be as aligned as possible, you would be kind of almost floating. You would be grounded because you have focus. You are taking action with inspiration. So you're not, distracted by the world. You have laser-like focus. You move very firmly towards your future. But at the same time, it feels light because you're taking aligned action. So there's not much resistance and everything just works out. Everything just works out in your life. This is what it means to let go of what is holding you down. But there are things that are holding us down. They are all mental, my friend. They're all mental. You might say, yeah, these people are holding me down. No, your judgment of how you're perceiving them is holding you down. How they are treating you is how you train them to treat you. When you set boundaries, they will recognize you have power. Some people are afraid of power and they will move away. And some people respect power and they will treat you with a greater respect. This is, my friend, that's how you stand in yourself. You may say, well, I don't feel free because lack of money is holding me down. Well, money is there. Money is somewhere there. Ask yourself, are you satisfied with the job that you're doing? Is this give you a sense of service? Could you be more of service? Could you serve more people? What you need to learn to be in a position where you could serve more people. Don't look at a job as something that makes you money. Look at a job as something that allows you to serve other people, your fellow brothers and sisters, my friend. Show up. Yesterday I told you, show up to the world. Show up because you're needed somewhere. That's the Pluto right now, bringing from the depths of your soul this beautiful light of yours that is here to enlighten this world. So maybe it's a good time to stop just looking at the job you're doing as just something you're doing and start thinking about something that would make you thrive, of, where you can be of service. That's where you break free from old power struggles and you recognize that you are the source of power. So rather than struggling because of certain external powers, you get into your power and start influencing the world, so the world will bend to your will. That's what will happen because you are the source of life. 5-5 is a symbol of transformation. 5-5-5, it's a triple symbol that you have the power to transform your life and you're supported with that. So it's time to reinvent your identity. This is the third thing that came to me today to remind you. It's time to reinvent your identity. Partially I've mentioned it yesterday, but because I'm doing daily guidance, I'm just turning more light to what must be acknowledged even more. Because when it comes to identity, it's not something you do one time. It's not something you think today, oh, I'm actually letting go of this. No, every single day you're repeating something and that's what makes you you, right? You are the product of what you do consistently. When it comes to your habitual body, you're the product of what you do consistently, right? So your soul is unique, infinite being, but your body is a product of your habits. And your habits are driven by your identity, what you believe to be true about yourself. But as we're in this transitioning phase, this rebirth phase, as Pluto went into retrograde in Aquarius, it means that a deeper truth is now being born inside of you. It has been happening for a long time, but right now you're becoming more aware of it, especially today, which is a day of huge transformation. You may experience a deep sense of truth, who you have become at this point, and you will notice your habits are not aligned with it anymore. Your way of thinking is not aligned with it anymore. So let's think about this way. When I've started painting, I'm also an artist, and you'll see my paintings behind me. You can find all of my work on AttractPassion.com. When I've started painting, I've recognized, well, I'm becoming an artist. But then it took me around 2 years that I've actually started identifying myself as an artist. Because before that, it was not familiar to me. Even though I've been painting and I've been opening up to an incredible creativity, I was still not saying I'm an artist. I was still an athlete. Before that, I was an athlete. But then I've recognized, well, I need to adapt my identity to who I have become. Of course, you are an infinite being, but also your identity helps you to see more of who you truly are. So if you want to become an unlimited being, stop, living in an identity of someone from the past that has been hurt, that has been through hard times, that has done maybe some wrong things. This is all from the past. Take wisdom from there, but form a new identity that will fit to that version of yourself from that future you're building right now. Like, start saying to yourself, I am free, I am rich, I am abundant. But don't just stay in the level of affirmations, because affirmations are only influencing your conscious, subconscious, and subliminal mind. Go deeper. Bring this affirmation into action. If you're truly free, how do you move? If you're truly abundant, how do you treat others? How do you live life? Because abundance to me means being in tune with nature, being in tune with life, because that's where I draw creativity from. Being one with God, that's where I draw guidance from, right? And move like this. This is 555 portal today. It is pushing you deeper into oneness with life. When you are one with life, you don't live stagnant, because that's when life dies, right? When you're one with life, you don't feed your body with something toxic. That's not nature. When you're one with life, you rest when nature rests, right? You align with natural rhythms. When you're one with life, you move with the voice of your spirit, of your soul, of your heart's intelligence. You use it as a compass, right? That's what it means to be one with life, my friend. Are you listening to me? Yes, that's what you're doing. The fourth thing I want to mention: act with strategy and courage. This is something I've mentioned yesterday already. It's time to find a coach, a mentor, or a program, or a book, something that will teach you to embody that new identity of yours. Because you know what you know until today, but you don't know what you don't know that will make tomorrow possible, right? So you need to learn what you don't know that will make impossible possible. This is the magic. Welcome to the magic. You need to learn what you don't know to make impossible possible. That's what 555 is teaching you today. Invest into teachings or studying. Yes, best word. Invest into studying. Invest into material that will teach you who you want to become. Invest into mentors. Invest into teachers, coaches, whatever you feel that you need at this point. I would encourage you, invest into something that will pull you more into the masculine side, especially those of you who are at the phase of your life. I told you, take only what resonates with you. But to those of you who are at the phase of your life when you've been doing a lot of healing, a lot of reflection, a lot of letting go of the past, you will need right now a masculine energy to build a new foundation on something that will take you into the future, like building discipline, building focus, creating plans, creating strategies that work. Not something that will maybe work if you use it correctly, but something that you will know for sure that it will work. So intuitively, you will be guided to right people, to right knowledge, to right skills. As yesterday I told you, you will come across something that will change your life. When it finds you, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Really investigate it. If it resonates with you, it has something that will move you towards where you want to go. So I told you, set on fearless goal, rooted in your heart's desire. Heart's desire. Do it from the soul, not from the ego, is a main message right now. Do it from the soul, not from the ego, because the point is that you evolve your ego into soul's awareness. So you don't live in a habitual self, you start to live in a soul self. Yes! One thing about 2025 is also that if you combine all the numbers together, you gain 9, which means that this is the year when you're creating the greatest closure of your life, moving into this new dimension where you thrive, where you shine, where you're in love with life and you're celebrating existence through living it. So it means that you're releasing so much of the past right now, and know that it doesn't need to be just painful. It can also be celebrating and joyful. If you, at the same time as you're letting something go, you also embody more of what truly feels right to you, what feels loving and joyful to you. Like to me, it's creating art, making these messages, talking to you, and living life, being in nature and enjoying this incredible creation that was made out of love. Yes, that's what gives me a sense of connection. The last thing I want to give you with this 555 portal is trust the disruption. Trust the disruption. Because one thing that is happening right now is that so much is ending. And you need to trust that it is only leading you to new beginnings. And, well, because 5 initiates changes, you need to focus on the changes you want to see, not what has been gone. You need to focus on what you want to see, not what was gone, because what was gone is gone forever. But what is coming from nowhere. It will come from the potential. And in order for potential to actualize, you need to remove what is not allowing it, which means remove distraction, remove toxicity, remove habits that are pulling you away from where you want to go, remove beliefs that are saying to you it's not possible. If you're wondering how to remove these things, well, focus on the version of yourself you're becoming. Focus on the version of yourself you're becoming, and frequently go within and ask yourself how that more evolved me is thinking about life. Your soul will give you answers. Don't look out for answers, look in for answers, because they are inside of you and you already know that. Don't resist the shake-up. Don't resist the shake-up, my friend. Within you, you know how could you think as the more evolved version of yourself. So trust that what's crumbling is only clearing space for what's coming. And therefore, don't focus on the cracks that are opening, focus on what is coming through. Yes, like a rose that grows through the concrete. It's one painting I've created, and it's just this symbol that I see right now, and that's who you are at this point. So you are becoming that flower that grew through the concrete. And maybe you feel like that. Well, if you do, well, it's time to go somewhere where you're needed. If you don't feel like that, it means that you're still focused on the cracks and not on what is growing through. Focus on what is growing through and recognize that that's where your soul is taking you. That's where your soul is taking your focus, to really see that you're growing, that you are becoming more of who you are designed to be and less of what they told you you should be. That's right, my friend. Right? That's right. I will leave you here. I hope you found great value today. We had a beautiful topic. We're back in the studio. And I want to say big thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art as well by buying my paintings on AttractPassion.com or the link in the description of this video. I'm painting symbols that can be used and helpful at this time to support your journey of transformation. So when you feel lost, you can look into something that will remind you of what truly matters. It will remind you of that spark of yours to keep going, because your journey is not ending, it's only beginning right now. Like they say, you could start one day, or you could say, this is the day one. This is the day one, my friend, and today you will receive a lot of clarity where you're going. Ground it onto a piece of paper, focus on it, and don't stop until you achieve it. Yes, don't stop. Also, big thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community. For more exclusive content, the link is also in the description of this video. And till next time, one love.